Hello everyone, welcome back. This week for our midweek wandering, we're going to go to a place that I've always just called the TV towers. They sit out on a promontory on the edge of a cliff, overlooking Castledale and Feron and Orangeville. We get there from Joe's Valley Reservoir, which is where we are this week for the deer hunt, and we're starting where Highway 29 splits, continues to go up towards Skyline Drive and over to Ephraim, Manti, or wherever, or you can take this road around the backside of Joe's Valley Reservoir and go out down the Black Dragon Trail, down way out around the Horn Mountain, which is that mountain out there in the distance. So it's a little bit of a drive, but we think you like it. Come along. Joe's Valley Reservoir is kind of low at the moment, although it's not the lowest I don't think that I've ever seen it. The water from this reservoir primarily goes down and irrigates Orangeville, Castledale, and I'm not positive of what they use it for water, culinary. Heather spent a lot of time up here over the summers. And since Heather and I have been married, at least our oldest three, our youngest two didn't spend as much time up here, but our oldest three spent a lot of time when they were younger up here. Cabin for family reunions, summer getaways, vacations, and then everyone who would hunt, specifically deer, would come and stay in the cabin and hunt up around the mountains. Heather's grandfather was water master for a long time, responsible for the water. There's no power. It's all septic tanks. The water is not potable. It comes off of Swayze Creek. They put it into a settling pond, and then the overflow from the settling pond goes into a holding tank, and then everything's just gravity fed from there. So you can use it to, wash and clean and whatnot. If you boil it, you can drink it. Sterling, Heather's grandfather, grew up down here, so he used to always drink it. But he's been drinking this water since he was a kid, so he's fairly immune. So, Joe Swayze. Many people know the name Joe Swayze. He's pretty, I don't know if you want to call him famous or notorious or infamous or whatever, but him and his family, him specifically, had a couple of cabins throughout the San Rafael Swell, and was a horse trader, a hunter. He used to have a little cabin right up over there. On a future video, we'll walk over and see his cabin and what's left of it. It's been pushed over, knocked down, but there's still, remains of timbers and whatnot there. But Heather's grandfather actually says he remembers an old man up here when he was a little boy, who would tell him stories all the time. So I'll try to remember some of those stories, and on a future video we'll do a Joe Swayze, Joe's Valley, just commentary. I don't know if you can see it or not, but in one of our previous videos we talked about all the terracing that was done after the war. And you can see evidence of that all over down here in Joe's Valley as well. They just take these little dozers and just dig out these terraces and use it for water retention and to prevent erosion. This whole area, the North Dragon area, was reseeded back in 1948, and I think this was part of the effort to help the vegetation grow and not just be swept down the hillsides by snow melt and rain and other things. So this next area we're about to go through is a wintering range for elk and deer, and if the winters aren't incredibly cold and snowy, the elk especially will just winter over. If it gets too cold, then they will push down into Feron, down the canyon. But they winter over in this next area just past this fence up here. Tried to make efforts to keep people out and to help protect them in the winter, especially in the spring. Road that goes down in there. I've been on it once. I can't remember for sure if it just goes down and dead ends or if it meets up with, there's another road called the Kitchen Road. Well, basically this drops off the end down into Feron Canyon. That's what's down there at the bottom where the Muddy River is. But this is a wintering spot all the way down to the bottom for elk and deer. I should have paid better attention, but unfortunately I haven't forgotten the exact location. But several times while riding out here with Grandpa Snow, he would stop and point off into the distance, and he would tell me that his father, Russell Snow, while riding a horse around, I don't remember if he was, herding sheep or whatever, had found a giant bone sticking up out of the ground that he identified as a dinosaur bone. I did at the time try to think, I'm going to go ride through there, walk through there, hike through there, and see if I can't find it. But unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure even where there is at this point. So maybe one day, if I can remember exactly where that was, I'll be able to take some time and go see if I can find it. On top of Horn Mountain, there's this cap right here that's called the Cap, that there's a road that goes all the way around it, and Grandpa Snow talks about how you used to be able to drive a car all the way to the top, but somewhere in the 70s or 80s there were a couple of rock slides, landslides that had washed out the road. And he used to talk about wanting to see if he couldn't, make a road again or clean out one of the slides and see if he could get back to the top. He never did. However, He did show me how to get on top of that. There's a nice little canyon on the northwest side that you can walk up and get right up on top of that, and hunted up there once or twice. It's just beautiful, flat, fairly flat top. I have taken the road all the way around it many times. On the west side, it does get, well, all the way around it, you can run into some pretty nasty mud washouts. And there's what's left of a sawmill on the west side that we used to stop and eat lunch at. As you can see, the road is, pretty nice road. A couple little washouts here and there, a couple dips and turns, but nothing that, again, especially during the summer months, that you couldn't get just a passenger car through. Definitely an SUV, minivan, two-wheel drive truck, pretty much anything you want. So it's a nice, easy drive. It takes you out through some very beautiful scenery. Of course, I really like this high desert scenery with cedar trees and some mahogany here and there, and scrub oak and sagebrush. So I encourage you to look it up and take your family out for a drive. After all that dry desert landscape that we've been driving through, out here on the end, we'll see more of it in a second, there's all of a sudden all these pine trees. It's quite the stark contrast to be driving along through the desert and then just pine trees. So it's way over there, and I know with the camera you can't really see it, but way back in the corner there is the Wilberg mine site. Out over there in the distance is Huntington. Right here below us is Orangeville and Castledale. We'll get a better view of that in a second. So this, according to Grandpa Snow, was originally a TV signal relay point, and they got signal relayed across the mountain down into Castledale, and this is where they got their signal from. Currently it's the AT&T cell site, it's T-Mobile cell site. Everyone in there under the sun has a antenna of some kind on it. Still probably used for, TV as well, maybe, who knows. And there are several of these now on this hilltop, used for all kinds of different purposes. But this is what Grandpa Snow referred to as the TV tower. Steven was just saying he doesn't remember the TV tower, but he remembers this. He remembers this view. A sudden drop off straight down into the abyss. Again, I know I need to figure out how to zoom this camera, but hopefully out there you can see that's the I don't know what it's called, Emery something power plant. Feron is over there. Castledale is in the distance, and then Orangeville is closest to us. And then, like I showed you earlier, way out there in the distance is Huntington, with Huntington State Park and Reservoir. There are roads all over down in there. I've never been on any of them. I don't know if they're open, closed, accessible or not. Might be cool sometime to try to find one or two. Most of them go out to, looks like, well sites. And
look like they go to a well.
Who knows what else. There's a couple of well sites where there's no wells anymore, but have been in the past. And there's a little building down here. I don't know what it is, but anyway.
Looks like over what's next to the right.
I am not, the man who's really all that good with geography, but out there on the other side of the swell, way over there, you can't see it, would be Green River. Those are the LaSalle Mountains, I'm pretty sure, in the distance there. Those are the Henry Mountains, I think, over there.
The Book Cliffs way out in the distance.
Book Cliffs are way over there. All that. So, turn around this way so the sun's not. So anyway, that's our midweek wandering for this week. We appreciate you coming along with us. Hope you enjoyed the drive. This is pretty sentimental. This is one of the first things that Grandpa Snow, Heather's grandfather, took me to after I met him, and it's been fun coming back out and sharing it with my boys and sharing it with all of you. So please like, share, subscribe, leave comments below if there's something you'd like us to share with you, someplace you'd like us to go. Let us know. We'd be happy to go there. Until then, we'll see you next time.